Thank you, Dr. Gust Bardy, for joining us today. Dr. Bardy is Professor of Medicine and retired from the University of Washington. And thank you for agreeing to speak with us to help the millions of arrhythmia patients around the world. Welcome.
Thank you. Pleasure to be here.
Dr. Bardy, you've given your life to helping arrhythmia patients, and in more recent years, one of your many inventions, you've developed the CAM patch. What is unique to the CAM patch as opposed to other EKG?
So for me, obviously, I developed the cardiac arrhythmia monitor for precision of diagnostics. That's critical. In order to know what you have to see clearly the behavior of the upper chambers of the heart and the lower chambers of the heart electrically. So the heart is a pump, but it's driven by a wire system, an electrical system. And normal electrical behavior is clear when it occurs. Abnormal electrical behavior can be quite complicated and difficult to discern. In order to do so, one needs to see not only the upper chamber electrical activity distinct from the lower chamber electrical activity, one has to see the electrical components of each of those signals clearly. So I will use a term: low frequency, low amplitude signals, high frequency, high amplitude signals. That refers to the electrical waveform from each chamber. So there are an array of signal qualities that are difficult to see. So in my device, I've developed, along with a team of engineers, the particular ability to see these tiny, tiny little signals that give a serious, definitive diagnosis to some of the most unusual rhythms that affects humanity. And not everything in the world is, for example, atrial fibrillation. People use the term too liberally. There are many disorders that appear to be atrial fibrillation that are not, or coexist with atrial fibrillation, 2 disorders or 3 disorders. And so this nuance of the electrical signal is what we are particularly proud of, and provide definitive diagnostics rather than these broad terms that lump different rhythm categories together. So I don't know if that's too technical or clear enough for you.
And patients and their loved ones want to know and understand. Certainly during this pandemic, a lot of patients haven't been referred to hospitals, or clinics have been cancelled. So there's been a lot more requests for mobile EKG and the patches. And certainly feedback from our patients, they've actually managed to capture their arrhythmia and are well on the road to seeking the diagnosis. So certainly in this troubled time, they've been a life-saving thing for our patients.